Ladies and gentlemen, I try to be very careful when I call people thugs, but I think it'll apply in this situation based on this man's track history. But this story is going to have some details that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities as well as my personal opinion. So that is your disclaimer if you need to exit the video. I don't want anybody to get in their feelings. Hope y'all got a little thick skin for my words. Okay? I'm getting this story from illicitdeeds.com, and you guys know that is my friend. That is somebody I trust a lot. We work a lot on different stories, sharing information. So it's an honor to be able to share a story from her website, illicitdeeds.com. And the individual that you guys just saw on my screen, let me see if I can get his face back up here. This guy did something very careless to this beautiful little baby right here. Beautiful baby girl. And I just don't see how you don't make that the number one priority in your life. Now, police say that a Georgia baby girl died on Tuesday when she was left in a car for several hours. Now, you guys have heard a lot of stories where people have left children in cars. Some have left them accidentally. Some left them while they went to work. Some left them while they went to the nail shop. Anybody have any idea why this man left this child, in his words, in the car? What do y'all think his reason was for leaving this baby girl in the car? This man left this baby in the car for several hours after her father was arrested for violating his probation in Snellville. Let me say that again. He was arrested for violating his probation. Some people would wonder, well, if he got arrested, if he was in the car and he got arrested, how did the police miss this baby? Well, here we go. The father, 20-year-old David Japes McCory, and I know that's probably not how you pronounce his name, but I really don't care how you pronounce a criminal's name, okay? David Japes McCory Whatley has been charged with second-degree murder. Police said that the child, Nova Grace Whatley-Trejo, died from being exposed in the car. Officials with the Snellville Police Department said shortly after 2:15 p.m. in the middle of the day, Whatley went into the lobby of the police department to pick up a gun that police had in their possession. I always feel the need to repeat myself because I feel like those pieces of information need a little more special inference. He went to the police department, a man who's violating his probation, to pick up a gun that belonged to him that the police had in their possession. Let that sink in for a moment. While he was there, police learned that Whatley had a warrant out for his arrest for a probation violation. He was then arrested and taken into the Gwinnett County Jail. Police said it is standard to conduct a background check before anybody picks up a gun at the police department. So before they were going to just give him the gun and he was going to leave. But they said before we can give you the gun back, we got to do a background check to make sure that we're not giving the gun back to somebody who's not supposed to have a gun, a felon, or somebody on probation that should not have a gun, which was him. Later that night, police say that a woman brought her 8-month-old granddaughter to the Piedmont Eastside emergency room. The baby girl, who has been identified as Whatley's daughter, was pronounced dead. The grandmother told hospital staff that the girl had been left in the car, in Whatley's car, after a traffic stop. Investigators say at some point, Whatley told the child's grandmother the child was in the car. Let me say that again. The grandmother told the hospital that the baby was left in the car after a police-conducted traffic stop. That's a lie. L-I-E. False information. She tried to lie on the police for him. Why? That's not what happened. Why? Why would she lie? Why do people lie, especially in stories that involve dead children? I think that is a crazy thing to do. And I also think that when people lie on behalf of dead children on somebody else's actions, I think those people need to be put in jail, and they should easily get a year in jail for lying. Okay? Now, when police were notified about the death, they found Whatley's car was parked near the dumpsters at the Snellville City Hall. Investigators say Whatley was recorded the entire time from the time that he walked into the police department. So he did this on his own. This wasn't a traffic stop. When he was booked into jail. At no point did he mention that his daughter was left inside the vehicle. So the grandmother lied on the police to try to make it seem like it was something else, when what it was first of all, he shouldn't have left his daughter in the car. And matter of fact, when he went into the police station, I'm assuming that he didn't take his daughter in there because he knew that he probably had a probation violation, and he thought he was going to be able to just go pick up his gun and nothing was going to happen. It's strange to me that this man valued a gun more than his daughter's life. There is no parent in existence that does not know that you should not leave children in cars. If you are that damn stupid, then you should not be a parent if you don't know that you should not leave babies in cars no matter what the circumstances are. Hello? Huh? There is no circumstance that you leave a baby in a car unattended. This man valued his gun more than his daughter's life, and that's real talk. Whatley was released on bond related to his initial arrest for probation violation, but law enforcement took him into custody Wednesday on murder charges on behalf of his daughter. The GBI said he will be booked into Gwinnett County Jail again on Wednesday afternoon. The Snellville Police Department has called the Georgia Bureau of Investigation to investigate the death and act as the primary investigating agency. The investigation is ongoing, and if, again, you guys can find more updates on illicitdeeds.com. And thank you for everybody who was watching from wherever you're watching. It is an honor to have any of you guys here, okay? You guys would do me a favor and click that thumbs up while I give you guys the fair usage. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. We want to try to have at least one thumb up for everybody that's watching. So if y'all would, please hit that thumbs up and share the story so we can hopefully get justice for this baby, okay? Well, let me go ahead and play these news videos. And I got to say thank you again to my friend Illicit Deeds, because that is one person I know will not get mad at me for reading a news article. So shout out to Illicit Deeds. Let's get it.
With breaking news.
We are following breaking news out of Gwinnett County this morning, where we just learned an 8-month-old baby died after apparently being left in a car. 11 Alive's Brittany Klein-Peter live outside Snellville City Hall. Brittany, now it sounds like they believe the father left the baby in the car there. Tell us more about that.
So what authorities are telling me right now is that the baby was found in a car left by these dumpsters in the City Hall parking lot. They say at no point did the father ever tell anyone the child was still in the car. It wasn't until about 7 hours after he was arrested yesterday afternoon that police say the child's grandmother ultimately retrieved the baby from the car and brought the baby to Piedmont Eastside Emergency Room. But By then, they say it was too late. The child had died. So the father, David Whatley, he was at City Hall prior to all this. They say he was trying to meet with his property custodian for the police department when they determined there was a warrant out for his arrest for a probation violation. He was then taken into custody, but police again are emphasizing at no point between when he entered the lobby and when he was taken to jail did he ever mention that his daughter was in the car. It's unclear if he faces charges right now in the baby's death. The GBI, though, has taken over the investigation. We are working to get body cam of that arrest. They said that they are not ready to release it just yet. And in the next 30 minutes, we're also going to talk to police here at Snellville Police Headquarters. Aisha.
All right, Brittany, absolutely heartbreaking to hear that about that baby. We appreciate the update.
But first, tonight, a 20-year-old father accused of murder after police say he left his baby daughter in a hot car and she died. And making the story even stranger, the car was parked at Snellville City Hall right next to the police station. Tonight, Brittany Kleinpeter explains why the father stopped in to see officers hours before the baby was found.
This is 8-month-old Nova Grace. The baby's mother shared these photos with 11 Alive this afternoon and telling us her daughter had the biggest personality and lit up a room. She says that she's absolutely heartbroken over the baby's death. Snellville police say last night around 9, Nova's grandmother found the baby in a car parked at City Hall. She was brought to Piedmont Eastside Hospital, but they said it was too late. Police say the child's father, David Whatley, had taken her to City Hall earlier with him that afternoon, but left her in the car when he went inside. Police say Whatley was meeting with a property custodian for the police department when they realized he had an outstanding warrant for his arrest for a probation violation. He was then taken into custody, but police say at no point did he ever say he had a child in his car or in the parking lot.
I still will never understand why this gun was so damn important to this idiot. Like, oh my goodness. But sometimes, and you can't even say that because the baby ended up dead. I don't know. His stupidity got him caught up, but I think his stupidity proved that he should have never been a parent and never should have been around this child. But let alone that, the fact that he was already on probation for whatever the hell it is that he did. And I wish we could probably maybe find more information if we do an update about his actual background and like why he was arrested. And has this probation, probably did jail time. But you also have to ask, why is it that these criminals, these thugs, these men that get out of jail have no problem finding sex, have no problem finding girlfriends, have no problem making babies? Nobody is doing a background check on these dudes, and if they are, they just flat out don't care. What is attractive about a man who's a danger to society? I don't know. I don't really know. But we continue to keep presenting dead children. We continue to keep presenting molested children, abused children. It's not all thugs. It's not all ex-people getting out of jail. It's not all. It never is all. It never can be all. So that should go without saying. But for, some people who ain't that bright, they need to hear that.
And they verified that by looking through body cam video from the time he entered the police station to when he was taken to the Gwinnett County Jail.
He was on video the entire time from the moment he walked into the Snellville Police Department to the moment he was transported and released to deputies for processing in the Gwinnett County Detention Center. He made no statements as to the fact that his daughter was left in the car.
Police say he was released overnight on the probation violation charge, but then arrested this morning for second-degree murder in connection to the death of his 8-month-old. GBI has taken over the investigation. We are still working to get body cam footage of the incident.
I'm Detective Jeff Manley from the City of Snellville Police Department. I'm in the Criminal Investigations Division. We had an incident last night at the City of Snellville Police Department where a woman brought her granddaughter to the emergency room at the Piedmont Hospital located here in Snellville. The child was 8-month-old female. Her granddaughter, doctors examined the child and determined that the child was deceased. Our officers conducted a follow-up investigation and determined that the child had been left in a car at Snellville City Hall off of Oak Road. The child expired from being exposed in the vehicle for a long period of time. The investigation determined that the child's father left the child in the car and came to the City of Snellville Police Department. He was here at the Snellville Police Department to pick up a firearm that had been detected property. Our standard procedure as far as firearms, we did not release firearms to someone until we conduct a background check on that person to make sure that we're not turning the weapon over to a convicted felon. We checked the background on this individual, and he came back with a warrant hit for a probation violation.
For those who are wondering, yes, I would love to hear the mother's side of this story too. Where was the mom? I don't know. But I would just definitely love for the mom to come out and give a statement. Where was she? What was going on? How did it get to this point? And all of that. I would just love to hear that. But as of right now, I wasn't able to find anything with the mom putting out a statement.
He was arrested here in the lobby of the City of Snellville Police Department for that warrant violation after 2 p.m. He was transported to the Gwinnett County Detention Center. He was on video the entire time from the moment he walked into the Snellville Police Department to the moment he was transported and released to deputies for processing in the Gwinnett County Detention Center. He made no statements as to the fact that his daughter was left in the car 2 buildings away from the Snellville Police Department. Our officers later discovered that the child was in fact in the car, and the grandmother had removed the child and brought her to the ER, and the child was in fact deceased.
Have you made any phone calls to anyone while he was here?
I can't go into any details on that. It's still an active investigation, but he did not make any statements the entire time he was transported. He was in the presence of our officers for 40 minutes, recorded on dash cam and body cam. He made no statements that the child was present.
About how many hours was this child left in the car, do we think?
I don't have an exact time frame, but I believe he was in the lobby here at Snellville around 2 o'clock, and I don't think the grandmother presented the child until before 10 p.m.
Can you confirm that she found the child in that vehicle?
That was my understanding, but I don't have all the details on that at this point.
Do you know why she went to the vehicle?
I believe she was alerted by him sometime later that she went to check on the child. That was my understanding.
So he did have a way to get in touch with the grandmother then at some point after he was...
Again, I didn't want to comment on something that I'm not clear on. I know that she came to the car to look for the child and then brought the child to the ER.
And do you know if the child was dead already when the grandmother found her in the car?
Now, some people might feel like I'm wrong for calling out the grandmother and saying that she should be arrested for lying. So the story that she got could have very well have been given from the dad to her, and that's what she repeated. But if you are not sure, I don't think that you should go around and go giving accounts of a story that you don't actually know. Isn't that the same thing that people be telling me? You don't know all the facts, so you shouldn't be on here talking about what you don't know, even though my information comes directly from the police, directly from the courts, directly from surveillance cameras. Even though my information can't be debunked. But I think it's better in a situation like this, whatever information she was given, to go get the child, take the child to the hospital, and just say, hey, I don't know what happened. Rather than pointing your finger at the police. I'm tired of people, and I just think that at some point we continue to try to villainize police, and I think that at some point we need to realize that these are human people trying to do their jobs, and every day we make it harder for them to do their jobs. We make them ineffective to be able to do their jobs because they're scared, they're frightened about getting prosecuted, getting fired, losing their livelihood, but trying to do a job that we're making it hard for them to do. But we are the first ones to call the police and say, we need y'all help. We need 911 over here right now, y'all. If that wasn't the case, then I think that we need to just handle things ourselves and just don't call the police. If that's how you really feel. If you feel like all police are bad, don't call them. Stop calling them. Stop using them. This type of thing makes it harder for them to do their job, and it was absolutely wrong of this man and this grandmother to point the finger at the police, because that is not what happened. They shouldn't have had to show this on surveillance camera to show, no, he parked the car and walked into our police station. They shouldn't have to prove that. But you can't fix stupidity.
The child was deceased, yes.
Is she cooperating with the investigation?
I can't comment on that. It's still ongoing.
Do we know a time frame of when the child died? how long she's been in the car deceased?
I don't yet. That would be determined by the medical examiner's office in Gwinnett County.
So was Whatley facing charges in connection to the death? And he bonded out of jail overnight, is that right?
Correct. He was arrested when he came to the lobby here for the probation violation warrant was outstanding. So he did bond out of jail late last night on that charge.
Will he face additional charges now?
The GBI is going to cover that aspect.
What kind of vehicle was it?
I don't know. It was a passenger car, I believe, but I haven't seen it.
And was it running? Do we know anything? Windows down?
I don't know.
The initial press release that came out today mentioned that the grandmother talked about a traffic stop. When she
There was no traffic stop whatsoever. That did not happen.
Is that how you were in possession of the gun?
No, the gun stemmed from a previous incident that was taken into police property here. This man came to the police department to say that it was his weapon and he wanted it returned to him. As I understand it, he was okay to have the weapon returned to him, but again, our policy is we check background on anybody that's picking up fire because we can't release a weapon to somebody if they're banned from owning a weapon.
Can you say what the incident was?
I don't know what it was.
Can I just ask, just from a personal perspective, you have an 8-month-old baby girl killed in a hot car, 86 degrees was the high yesterday. As just a person, what goes through your mind?
I'm absolutely astounded that somebody would leave an 8-month-old in the car and park away from our building and walk up here knowing that child was in the car and leaving there. I'm astounded.
Can you describe his demeanor? Did he seem worried about anything during all of this?
I didn't speak to him, so I can't speak to that.
Where does the investigation stand right now?
The GBI is going to cover that. It's still an active investigation.
And just to reiterate, he never indicated once that there was a child in his car.
That's correct. We have him on video from the time he walked into this lobby to the time that we transported him to Gwinnett County Detention Center and released him to sheriff's deputies there. He was on video the entire time. He never made a statement that child was in the car.
What time was he transferred to the Gwinnett County?
I don't have the exact time.
It does look like he has a history with your agency. Can you talk about that at all in his past?
I don't know what his history is. I'm going to let the GBI speak.
My name is Lisa Verassi,
It's only about a minute and a half left of this video. I'm going to let it play out.
and I'm an assistant special agent in charge of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation Atlanta Regional Office. The GBI and the Snellville Police Department announced the arrest of David Whatley, 20, of Grayson, Georgia, in the death of his 8-month-old daughter, Nova Grace Whatley-Trejo. Whatley has been charged with second-degree murder. Whatley was arrested this morning with the assistance of the Gwinnett County Police Department SWAT, Snellville Police Department Criminal Investigative Division, and the Snellville Police Department Uniform Patrol. Whatley will be transported to the Gwinnett County Jail later this afternoon.
What are his charges?
Second-degree murder.
A little bit about that SWAT arrest this morning. Was he resistant? Was he hiding? Did he know that you guys were coming?
We're not prepared to talk about that at this time.
To be honest, I was thinking about reasons why he might have just not said that his daughter was in the car. I just think he's just stupid. There's no reason not to say that. There's no reason not to tell them, hey, my daughter's in the car, so somebody could go get my daughter. I don't know. Like, you just can't be that level of dumb, but apparently he is.
He was released overnight from the other incident, and then you guys arrested him this morning.
That's correct.
And it's just second-degree murder?
Yes.
Please spell the name of the little girl.
It's Nova, N-O-V-A, Grace, G-R-A-C-E, Whatley, W-H-A-T-L-E-Y, dash Trejo, it's T-R-E-J-O.
Can you say what comes next? Any further involvement as far as this investigation?
The investigation is still ongoing.
Have you been in contact with the child's mother?
Again, this is our statement at this time.
These are all the questions where.
All right, let me go ahead and end it there. And like I said, man, this story is just heartbreaking because it was senseless and stupid. Like, if you ask me, he chose to leave this baby in this situation. He knew his child was like, what did he do? He got amnesia when he walked inside of there and got arrested. He's an asshole. He's not a good father. He's a horrible individual. And I look at this picture and that breaks my heart. Like, this baby deserved better than that. Like, take responsibility for your actions. Let me get it off of her picture. Beautiful picture. This fool should have, as a man, taken responsibility for his actions. Number one, why you got on probation in the first place. Whatever led up to that was your actions. You're responsible for that. As far as having a violation of your probation, you know the rules, you broke the rules, and you broke your violation, which caused you to have an arrest warrant out. That is your fault. Everything that this man did was a decision that he made, a choice that he made. And he made a choice to literally omit the information and just not tell them, hey, I got a little baby in the car. But on top of that, what makes it even worse is the fact that this man, what did you need a gun for? What did you need a gun for, and what did you need a gun for that badly? That you needed to neglect your daughter? To me, that proves that he was up to no good. He was going to continue to do no good. And if you ask me, even though they're probably only going to get him on like second-degree murder, I think it should still land him life in prison. You can't be that level of dumb, and I just don't think that people like this need to be in our society. We need to cut people like this out of our society. This beautiful baby deserved an opportunity to grow up and become something great. And unfortunately, we haven't heard from the mom, and the mom made a horrible choice in who she produced a child with. I say that with all respect towards this baby. This baby needed an advocate. This baby needed good parents. Young Princess Nova Grace Whatley-Trejo. Young Princess. R.I.P. That's really heartbreaking to see. Such a beautiful baby. And he just said, screw it. If there's anything else to update with the story, we'll definitely make sure and let you guys know. But check out on illicitdeeds.com for updates with this particular story. And thank you guys for listening. Hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. If I said something wrong, post it in the comments. Okay? Thank you.